And all you haunters out there, just wanted to do a quick video after being on the Haunters Hangout Season 4 Episode 6 and watching their other seasons. Everyone always asks about storage, and home haunters like us, like I said, we have a giant yard. Want to show y'all a little clip of what our storage looks like, what our yard looks like in the aftermath of Halloween, even though this is already middle of March. Transworld is next week. Super excited about that. It's our first time going. So here at Twin Oaks Manor, let me give you a little walk around and show you guys what storage looks like around this joint. Now here's looking at this is the front yard of Twin Oaks Manor, looking from the side yard into the front. You can see the wrought iron gate and fence, the PVC pipes here. The PVC is left over. That's what holds up our circus tent walls, and that wrought iron gate is where our clown facade goes. And so this, that stays up. The PVC pipes we just forgot to take down. There's just so much to take down. It's just difficult to take down everything, and of course we didn't notice that. And here it is, middle of March, and they're still up, so they'll probably just stay up till next year. Looking out here, you can see this is our permanent yellow brick road. This is where our Wizard of Oz scene goes. You see the fence and the corn and our little pumpkin chimenea there. We take down the lanterns during Halloween and move that stuff, but this is it. This is a Wizard of Oz scene here. You see out that front yard, that's where the pirate ship goes. The jail is over here on the porch. But let's spin around here and take a walk through and see what it kind of looks like for storage reasons. Walking back, you'll see we've got these 2x4s attached to these poles over here. That's what holds our circus lights up that run from the chimney from right there all the way across the yard here. Right here is where we had the back wall of the circus. It actually ran from that tree to the corner of the blacklight room. The blacklight room generally comes down, but we are fixing to start a remodel in our home, and everything in there generally goes in the attic. Now, because we're going to lose our attic during the remodel, we needed a place to store it, so we left the blacklight room up. And this is all usually covered outside and inside, but you can see in here, this has become our new storage unit for temporarily. We left the faces up, stacked everything in there. Now this room is 8 feet wide, 12 feet long. It is topped with 2x10s, 2x12s, and some plywood that we got on a coal pack. It was a coal pack at Lowe's. Lowe's sells culled lumber, and we bought an entire, it was in two truckloads full of 2x material for $100, and so we topped the entire thing, covered it in plastic. And oddly enough, we had a giant storm this week. You can see it here. This is all it's all plastic totes as far as you can see, and it's all body parts and Halloween and fun. But that chair, that's there because of the dog. That dog over there. Yeah, I'm talking about you. He likes to tear the plastic out, so we have to block the doors. Talking about this storm, this is the Headless Horseman's Bridge. And we left it up, but the storms that came through, we got 70-mile-an-hour wind, and this thing actually stood up. I couldn't believe it. It was moved 8 inches. You can see over here where that board is about 8 inches away. It was up against that board that moved that board over. I had to shore it up because it was leaning a little bit, and so that's why the 2x4s are in the center. I'll probably, once it's all dried out, go and put in some more supports and stuff just to kind of shore it up a little bit better. But walking through, we have lots of things that like to stay up, like the Headless Horseman's horse. He needs a new paint job. He's starting to flake up a little bit, and he stays there. Our pumpkin patch in the back, we like to leave those logs up. That bale of hay should have gone away because I'm sure we're going to have rats or something back there. But we stack all our pumpkins in this area over here. And you can see across the witch's shack. That was from the voodoo area. That's the throne that sits up there. You know, we decorate the fence behind it, tiki torches everywhere. But the lagoon, this is our spirit tree. You see it stood up, but we had to duct tape a lot of that stuff together, which you can't see in the dark because those limbs, you know, if I didn't know this thing was as crappy as it was, I probably would not have purchased it. It looks really cool out here in the dark, but you know, it just, you see there's a limb on the ground, there's a whole broken one off the back. I have to repair all of that now, and it just sucks. This is our little lagoon that I emptied to keep the frogs and everything else out of it. I need to pick the rest of that up eventually. The swing, it stayed out. Of course, probably doesn't work anymore now. This is the witch's shack. I had to take that piece of roof off because it actually blew off and was bowed, so I just set it down to flatten it back out. But this stays up year round. It sits in the very back corner of the yard. You see it's up against the fence, and you see there's the back of the house, how the distance. But from the back porch, it looks really fun sitting out here, so we just leave it. Back behind it's a gypsy wagon covered with a giant tarp, and everything carnival related, a lot of carnival stuff is inside that wagon. Let's see, step on over here. You can see in here one of our games. All of our tiki torches are back here. And then inside, like I said, this is an open area right here. Inside there is just completely full of carnival stuff. So that's a good way to store stuff for us because it fits in behind the shack. It's fairly non-visible, and the shack just looks neat. You'll see where our lawnmower is underneath the lean-to there. That was our mine. That's the mine that we set up and had all the facade boards across it, and that's the spider there. We actually glued all that together this year, the spider legs, and couldn't find a place to stick it, so I should use PVC and paint. It'll be fine. So when we look back over here, you'll see the back of the blacklight room, the back porch. Back porch is a horrible mess. So is my dog. You see it's all muddy back here, and he's playing in it. He loves it. This is where our nursery goes, and our Day of the Dead section. Those were the pallets that we used for walls for all of these sections, and they're just stacked up now. I was going to cut those down and make stuff out of them, but it's been so long and that's a lot of work. I'm thinking I'm just leave that stacked there and reuse it next year. But this whole back porch is going to expand to the baby nursery next year, make it a walkthrough. You'll see our Shite Creek sign stays up all year long. That was actually really fun. I enjoy looking at that when I come out here. We put these little fence panels up. Number one, it blocks my horribly messy shop area, but it also makes a nice little backdrop in Shite Creek when you turn that corner. The jail cell is leaned up against there. It normally goes back behind the shop. I just have not had time to get it back there this year. Let's see, as we walk into the Shite Creek area, this is my shop area. This is where I do all my building, all my work. Those storage units are full. This first one right here has half of it is lawn equipment, push mower, weed eaters, things like that. The other half on that side is all carnival games, large things we built, foam facades, crazy stuff. This second one here, that is all Christmas, literally Christmas, top to bottom, front to back. That's a 7x7 storage shed. And then right in between them, see if we can get in here. You see I got this little thing right here. This catches the rain from between the buildings, and underneath it is all rooms, facades. These are the facades that go over in Shite Creek. This is the blacksmith shop and the undertaker shop back in here. They fit in there nicely, so they stay in there. They stay out of the rain fairly well. You'll see my workbench and all my Shite Creek TNT boxes. This is all in desperate need of a cleaning. Ugh, my air cannon's still sitting out. These are things that we were going to make props with for the nursery. Haven't decided not to go with that, so we're going to throw those away. The outhouse, there's actually stuff inside the outhouse, like the casket that goes outside the undertaker shop. We just left that in there. This is my wood shop. This is where all the magic happens. When we come back here, I've got just piles of wood everywhere. That is a convertible picnic slash bench. It folds over into a bench. I built that last year. But looking down through here, this is where our graveyard goes. This fence stays up. It's permanent. We put this up because our little dogs, who we kept away from our big dog, that's their dog door that they go in and out of. And I built them a little porch because they're turds and they don't go out to poop in the rain. Instead, they'll poop right next to the door. So I tricked them. I built a porch and they step outside before they know it's raining, and then they just go out there. So the remodel that we're doing, we're actually taking that roof off. We're going to add a second story. It's going to be real cool. Can't wait to do that. You'll see how muddy this is here. That was a big challenge for Halloween because it was just so muddy here, and it rained a ton last year. But that's kind of, you know, where we sit right now. It's not optimal and it's not ideal because, you know, normally we like to have this down and we like to have all this cleaned up, but it's been so rainy and just crappy weather for months and months and months that it's just hard to get out here and do all of that. But you know, we'll get around to taking some of this, cleaning it up. But that's our storage for Twin Oaks Manor for this year, and that's kind of how we do it every year. But you know, appreciate y'all coming, watching the video, and if y'all stick around, we'll have more build videos soon. Say goodbye, dum dum. Hey, say goodbye. Yeah. Happy haunting.